Hello, my friends. Welcome to Heartlight Studios. I am Mr. Heartlight. Some of you may know me as Mitch Carmody from the speaking engagements that I do and from my book letters to my son. This YouTube channel uh, I am creating, I am creating for you. For you, many of you out there suffering in grief, in loss, or lost in life. This is a channel that I want to devote uh, to you. I call it surviving being human. And it all started from a journey of loss in my life. That 30 years ago, this year, I lost my 9-year-old son to cancer. It changed everything in my life. It changed all perspective, the whole horizon, my whole future. Everything looked different. Everything was dark. Everything was just shades of gray. I'm an artist, and I lost my ability to create. Um, I I went into a deep dark hole for many years, almost 5 years. I would come home from work every day, open up a PBR, sit on the couch, watch TV, drift off. It didn't matter what I was watching. I This was the days before internet. I didn't even have that as a distraction, um, and a avenue of hope and a avenue of resource. So there was nothing. I felt in 1987 I was alone, stuck. I was an island of pain, and the rest of society just wants you to get over it and move on and put it behind you. Even my own mother said, "Son, put it behind you. Get over it. Uh, Dead is dead. Gone is gone." And so I tucked my grief away. I tucked it away, uh, and 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 grieved like my mother told me to. We're good Nordic stock up here in Minnesota, and we don't hang your laundry out on the line for other people to see. You keep your feelings inside. You don't tell people what you're thinking. So that's what I grew up with, and so I put my grief away. I did not grieve. And my mother had all lost so many losses. My son, like I said, in 1987. But my father died when I was 15 years old. Triple bypass surgery. And my mother told me the first thing she said to me, "You are the man of the house now, Mitch. You are the man of the house. You have to take care of the farm and your sisters." And so I had to do that. And I didn't cry for my father. I didn't. I yucked it up with my buddies at the funeral. My father was a police officer, and in 1969, there was a lot of compassion for police officers. And so I was embarrassed by his death. And that was between junior high and high school. And I went to high school and forget it, became the class clown. Some of that still stuck. But that's how I survived. I didn't want to be looked at as the kid whose dad, the pig cop, died over the summer. I wanted to be looked at as just the funny guy, Mitch. I was a little guy, and I wasn't in sports, so I mixed in with everybody. And so that's how I found my solace and got through the pain is putting it behind me. Like my mom says, put it behind you. So I put on a role, and the role fake it till you make it. I did, and pretty soon my fake became it. It doesn't take long, and then other losses come into your life. I was 15 when my father died. Then when I was 21, my brother, who was in a state hospital institution, had died. When I was 29 years old, my twin sister and her 2 boys were killed in a car accident. We celebrated our 29th birthday together. And she said, and we were funny, we were different as night and day. If you ever remember the old magazine from National High Life, if you ever got drilled in the 1950s or 60s, 70s, High Life magazine, there was this pair of twins in there, they were boys, but Goofus and Gallant. Well, I was more gallant, she was Goofus. My mother made me angel food cake, she made her devil's food cake. but we were inseparable. At 29, we were having our birthday together, and she said, Mickey, next year you can turn 30, but I'm going to stay 28 forever. And 29 forever. And 10 days later, she and her two sons were killed in a car accident, 7 and 9. Another woman and her son lived. Then that's another whole story when I connected with the driver of that vehicle 20 years later. So stay tuned for another video on that. Those things happened. It wasn't 6 months, 8 months after my sister and her sons were killed that my son was diagnosed with cancer. So we jumped off the grid and we just did what we could do to save our son's life. You know, hospitals, radiation, we sold everything we had, we moved to Mexico, we did everything. So I eventually, then he died. I mean, we had a miracle healing and so many things, and that's why I had to write a book. Letters to My Son, Turning Loss to Legacy. I had to talk about the miracles we experienced, not only the miracles that he physically experienced that extended his life, but the miracles of faith that were built into our hearts, and we realized that we were being guided from the force, from whatever you choose to call, from God. Hard to describe that feeling of agape, that feeling of God's Spirit that's in you. But it became so real in our life. It became the fabric of our salvation. It was our deep faith. It wasn't a religion so much as a deep faith that there was something out there that could help us, that we were out of control. We could not control the situation. And there seemed to be something that, by our participation in the unknown, and the mystery of faith, that things happened, that things clicked and miracles did happen. And we'll talk more about miracles as we move through this series of nurturing and helping those individuals who need some guidance in their loss, guidance in their future, that you have it all in you. Have it all within you. Everything you need to survive this planet, to survive being human, you have within you. You can do it. From here, help from there, help from the universe, whatever you call it, but there is something. And we'll discuss those in detail, body, mind, soul, and spirit, to get you where you need to be, because you have everything it takes to make that happen. Turn on your heart light. Let it shine for all to see. Good night.